What is going on, y'all? It's your boy Sparky coming at you with some more Warzone gameplay. Very average gameplay because I'm bad at the game. But I'm setting a goal for myself. By the end of Season 6, I'm gonna have a win. I'm gonna have a win, damn it. Even I don't care what it takes. I'll do anything. I gotta get a win. Alright? Now, the gameplay is just gonna be in the background, because I got something special for y'all today. It's a story time. Arguably, one of the most interesting stories I have to tell and that you're ever going to listen to. I promise. You're going to learn some stuff. You're going to hear some stuff. It's going to make you laugh, cry. You're going to feel emotions you never knew existed. But before we get into that, be sure to subscribe for more content like this. If you want to hear more story times, I promise you this is not the only story I have to tell, but I think it's my favorite story to tell. So strap in. Leave a like if you enjoy the video, because this one is a little bit wild. Alright, y'all, we're getting into a game. Give me a minute to gather my thoughts and think about what I want to do, and then I'll get into this crazy story for y'all. Alright, so y'all are about to hear about the day that I got hit by a bus. I promise you, it happened. It's a true story. This is not a good drop. Alright, this story takes place on one fateful July? I think it was July. It had to be July. I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. I don't know. It traumatized me. I kind of blocked it out. Okay, it didn't actually traumatize me. It's not that deep, but I did get hit by a bus, I promise. Also, can I just say that is such a bad drop, because I am the worst at trying to play while focusing on something else. Like, I cannot do both. It's so bad. I cannot play and try to talk at the same time. It's probably one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. Shout out the riot shield. Alright, one fateful July day. I was riding my bike home from school. I took summer school. I was planning on graduating early because I wanted to go to college. I wanted to finish up credits, and I wanted to be a little bit of ahead of the program, because I was going to graduate early and then start college classes on my last semester of high school to get a little bit of a head start. So in order to do that, I took driver's ed over the summer of my sophomore year. It was a required class for us. I'm not sure if that's how it is for every school, but for us, we had to take it through the school. Well, not necessarily through the school. We could do it outside, but the school had to know about it. We had to do driver's ed through the school, basically. But both of my parents worked during the day, and they wanted me to achieve whatever I wanted to do. So by no means were they going to hold me back from trying to take summer school to get ahead. They've always been supportive of me and whatever I wanted to do. So if that's what I wanted to do, they were all for it. We just had to figure out what our situation was going to be in regards to getting me to school. Only real solution that we could find was me riding my bike. And the school was like, I don't know, 2.5 to 3 miles away from our house. So not too bad. It was about a 20-minute bike ride if I was just, casually going, but at a good pace. Isn't there an upstairs in here? Am I missing something? Yep, there it is. And yes, I do understand how ironic it is that I got hit by a bus while in driver's ed, okay? It's been pointed out to me many a times. I'm well aware of it, and it's hilarious, okay? Alright, so it's about halfway through the course, and I'm getting used to riding my bike back and forth. It's just an everyday thing now, and I'm completely used to it. Now, there were a couple of sketchy intersections that I had to cross. They were arguably the busiest in my town, and the one that I thought was going to be the problem, it didn't have any crosswalks or anything like that for pedestrians, so I thought that that's where I would run into issues. But I was completely wrong. There's one a little bit closer to my house, probably half a mile away, and it gets pretty busy. And the real issue was they were doing construction there one day. And because of this construction, the lights weren't working properly that day. Nice. So on this day, I pull up to the intersection. I'm getting ready to cross. Everything seems dandy. I hit the button, and there's this bus sitting there. And he sees me. He knows I'm there. to this day, I'm sure that that man would lie and say he didn't see me, but it's a lie. We were both very aware of each other's presences. Oh, come on. Okay. So he sees me. There's no way that he didn't, okay? We made eye contact. We were both very well aware of each other's presences and what was about to happen. Me crossing the crosswalk in peace. So I'm sitting there, ready to go, and I'm going to ride my bike across the crosswalk because it's faster. I know they always say, hey, don't ride your bike through the crosswalk. It's not safe, yada, 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 whatever. Okay, I was a teenager. All right, when I'm told not to do something, what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to do it. Okay, most of the time I didn't do it because, let's face it, I was scared of a lot of things. But this time, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. It's faster, okay? All right, so it's my time to cross, okay? The pedestrian light went on, but because of the construction, so did the green light. The bus knew I was there, though. So I start going across, and he starts going through the intersection. So basically, both lights go on, and we both think that we have the right of way, which is not true, all right? Just as a general rule of, like, respect and decency, if you're in a car, you should typically let pedestrians go, right? Or is that just me? I don't know. Maybe I just have, what do you call it? Basic manners. Woo, that was a close one. Just the disrespect aspect. I wanted to shoot him like that. So we both start going, and I look to the left and I see the motion, and immediately I know what's about to happen. He hits me. He hits me while I'm on my bike, and he's on his... Nope, not on. He's in a bus, and he hits me. He was protected. I had no protection. But the craziest thing is that he didn't know he hit me. Somehow, the big 5'10" ginger kid on a bike magically disappeared. So he's not stopping. I'm sitting there and I have to slam on his windshield for 5 or 7 seconds. I don't, way too long, okay? And he's not stopping. It was the craziest thing to me at the time. And honestly, to this day, I still don't know what was going on. Like, where did he think I went? Either way, my slapping eventually gets his attention, and as I'm halfway into the intersection, he stops. And he wants us to pull off to the side and, like, get everything checked out. I don't know why, but I did not want to do that at all. I like, checked myself, made sure I was alive, and I was like, nah, man, we're good. And my bike was bent. The whole thing, it was not moving. Everything was bent. The wheels wouldn't turn or anything. Yeah, I wasn't going anywhere. So we pull off to the side, and he starts... Actually, first thing he does is he walks out and he lights a cigarette. Like, I kind of get it, because it was a stressful situation, but, like, also, dude, you just hit a kid. I feel like there's a little more important things than, you know, getting your nick on. But I'll let it slide. Stressful situation, it's fine. So we both stop, and he's checking on me, which I appreciate. I was fine. I asked if he was fine, because it looked like he was about to keel over from a heart attack, but that was before he hit me. He was rough looking, to be honest. He probably shouldn't have had a license to operate a bus, if I'm just being honest. And then he calls the police, and I'm trying to get a hold of my mom, but she's at work. So once I do get a hold of her, work lets her leave, and she shows up. And then the cops show up at about the same time. And then also the paramedics show up, and then I go talk to them. My mom talks to the cops, and so does the bus driver. He talks to the cops as well. And while they're talking, the paramedics checking me out. I'm all fine. I get out, and then I go over to talk to the cops and try to explain to them what happened. So I'm talking to the cops, and I'm telling them what happened. And I mentioned that I rode my bicycle through the crosswalk, right? And then they go talk for a little bit, trying to sort out what to do. They come back to me. You'll never guess what they tell me. A 15-year-old kid doesn't even have his license. They tell me this. We're going to have to give you a $120 citation. Immediately, I wonder why. What on earth could you need to give me a ticket for? And that's when they tell me, well, bicycles count as motorized vehicles, so because you were riding it through a crosswalk, you were technically breaking the law. Okay, because anybody knew that, and secondly, I don't have the credentials to even know that. I'm in driver's ed, and I don't have a license or anything. It shouldn't be illegal to give someone without a license a traffic ticket, alright? That is insane. And the only thing I could think of to say was, if I wasn't riding my bike, I'd be dead, which was true, because he didn't know I was there. He just kept pushing. So if I wasn't on my bike, I wouldn't have been able to balance, and he would have ran me over. But the cop didn't care. He just handed me the ticket and said, "Oh well, I have to do this." I said, "No you don't. You definitely do not." So he hands me the ticket, and a court date is set. But the really funny thing was, I couldn't actually attend the court date because I was still in driver's education, and my dad had to go for me, because if I missed a day, I technically failed the course. So my dad goes to the court date, and the police officers... No, there were only 10 people left. Alright, I'm just going to finish out the video here because I want to focus and make sure that I can tell the story right. So, it's my dad's turn to go up. The case is on the judge's desk, and the only thing the judge has to say is, "This is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen. There's no reason for this to be here. This needs to go." And apparently, I'm basing this off of what my dad told me. The cop had the dumbest look on his face. It got pushed away. We didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to pay the $120. It didn't go on my record or anything like that. So, everything kind of worked out, I guess. Just needed to buy a new bike. So remember, kids, don't ride your bike across the crosswalk because of your safety. Do it because you're breaking the law, and you'll be a criminal. No one cares about your safety. They only care about the law. But the cherry on top, when I was getting checked out by the paramedics, this dude looks at me and just says, "Is it like what they say?" And I don't know what he's talking about, so I say, "What do you mean?" And he just says, "Well, when someone says it feels like they got hit by a bus, is it like that? Do you feel like that?" And I was a little bit dumbfounded. I didn't know how to answer, so I was like, I don't know. It's too soon to tell." And, yep. So, that paramedic was cool. He was probably just trying to make me feel better. But, yeah. Not a fan of the cop. Alright, y'all, that's all I got for now. Hopefully you enjoyed and learned a little bit something. I don't think a lot of people know about that law, so whoever I can tell and spread the information to helps out society. I feel like, at least, because that's a really obscure law to know. Alright, if you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe and comment what types of videos you want to see in the future, or if you want to do more story times. I got a lot of stories. Alright, y'all? It's been your boy Sparky. Peace out.